Hello and welcome to another edition of 409 Sports X's and O's. There's still a couple of football teams playing, of course, West Orange, Stark, and Silsbee Friday, but basketball season is in full swing, and now you know. We're going to go year-round with X's and O's, so we're going to bring in coaches from all the sports. Coach Brian English, Nederland Bulldogs, coming in, and for all the people that think me and Mike are biased because we both went to P&G, our first basketball coach is from Nederland.
Yes, sir.
Says a lot, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Says a lot. Thank you.
So this week is big because the Bulldog Classic is going on. Now the Bulldog YMBL Classic. Tell us about how that changed, because the Bulldog Classic was great for years. The YMBL South Texas Shootout was great for years, but now kind of teamed up, and it's one big tournament now.
One big tournament now. They just wanted to partner with somebody, and they gave me a call, and so we're partners. It's the second year we've done it, and they've done a great job for us. What
is it about the Bulldog Classic? I mean, it's like I said, one of the biggest tournaments every year. By far the best food. By far the best food.
No doubt about that.
That's why they get great media coverage, by the way.
Yeah.
What is it about that makes that tournament so strong year in and year out? Especially when I love when y'all release that program and show all the players that have come through the Bulldog Classic.
Yeah, it's been good. We try to get real strong teams, to come in for competition purposes, and we were real good at one time, and we were able to compete, and we still try to do that. Win or lose, we're going to get something out of it. And we got a strong field this year. It starts tomorrow, and it's kind of got a little flavor to it now because we get to use the Montaigne. That's due to the YMBL and their hard work, and so we're looking forward to it.
That's the thing for years, it almost seemed like the Lincoln or the Westbrook Invitational, and I mean, you had some big-time powerhouses, but the crowds were always great there, and then Nederland was able to pull it off and, make some great runs.
Yep.
15 teams coming into town, at least scheduled for it this time.
Yeah, exactly.
In case you're tuning in, you haven't heard, there's a shelter in place for my city right now, Port Neches. Yeah. So, there's still some questions up in the air of who can make the tournament or not. But still, 15 teams in the field. And just talk about a few of those out-of-towners coming in.
Yeah, Dallas Kimball's coming in. They're strong year in and year out. We got a team from Mississippi coming in, and their roster's really big, 7 foot and 6'9", and some big kids. Louisiana Christian, friend of mine, comes over, and he just comes for the gumbo, he says. But he's got a good team year in and year out. And, the locals are with us. We got Fort Bend Marshall coming in. They're going to be strong. Sharpstown's going to be really good. So there's going to be some good teams and some good players. And, some good coaches. Coach Butte's back in it from Westbrook. So we're going to try to get David Green in it next year from United. So it's going to be fun.
Now, for your own Bulldogs, you're in a 3-team pool. Pool A, I see you there with Alvin and St. Pius. And the host is always going to hear stuff. How do you come up with the pools for this thing?
Well, we had a team from Indiana that dropped out late. So I didn't want to mess up the bracket any more than it was already. So we went ahead and just took the 3 teams in that pool, and we're going to get less games. And I hate that, but it's just kind of the way it played out, and we're going to try to do the right thing there, and hopefully it'll be competitive for everybody.
All right, Pool B, Lumberton, Toccoa, Sharpstown, and Fort Bend Marshall. Toccoa is one of those teams. It's a local team, in case you don't know. Yeah. They do well in their own level.
Yeah,
they really do play, and they compete. And I've noticed them starting to show up with some bigger premier tournaments. Yeah. And what's it say about that program there? It's a young upstart. I mean, not a lot of people know a lot about them.
Well, we didn't have any room in it early, and we lost Cleveland. Cleveland couldn't come for some reason, and we called them, and they jumped on it quick. So they're going to be competitive and scrappy, and it's going to be good for them.
Then Pool C, P&G, Louisiana Christian, Grace Baptist. That's out of Mississippi, correct?
Out of Mississippi, yes.
I recognize that name right there. See, did a little research. And Dallas Kimball, of course, always a powerhouse. They're ranked number 16 in the state right now. Central fans were familiar with the Kimball Knights from just a few years ago at state. And, even though they're not in that top 5 in the state, they're going to be bringing a very athletic group with them.
Exactly. I heard they just played somebody the other night who had a kid that committed to Carolina, and they beat them pretty good. So they're going to be strong.
When you look at Pool D, you got a couple of Orange County rivals going at it there, Vidor, Bridge City. Then you got Lufkin and Westbrook. Coach Butte's team, the Westbrook Bruins, they've looked strong early on. They actually lost by a couple of points to Port Arthur Memorial. That tells you right there what kind of team the Brook has this season. Yeah. They put it on Silsbee Light right now because Silsbee does not have their full team.
That's right.
But Lufkin is one of those groups that you think about football, but they got athletes in all sports, and they can compete in everything they do.
Yeah, they're very talented as far as basketball is concerned as well. They got a real good friend of mine coaching there, and he does a great job with them. So they're going to be in that mix, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win that pool. They when they play Westbrook every year, it's a very good game.
Mm-hmm. And so going through a little bit of the schedule, so where is the championship game going to be held at?
It's going to be at the Dome.
The Dome, all right.
Dome.
See, that's one of the things I wanted to make sure it was going to be, because, it's great. The Montaigne Center is amazing facility, is right, but it's still the Bulldog Classic.
Yep, we like the idea of everybody getting a chance to play in the Montaigne.
Right. But
the atmosphere is, for a high school tournament, it's just better at the Dome.
Yeah, it's right on top of you. I mean,
exactly.
it's. I've been there wearing purple in the stands when I was in high school, and it could be a bit intimidating, but it is fun. And I remember when it wasn't too long ago, Nederland was playing in that auxiliary gym.
Yes.
And there was just no life in that.
Yeah.
And then when you came back, it was all about getting back in that dome.
Get back at the Dome, got the wood floor in there,
right.
And they've done a great job kind of remodeling the Dome for us. And a lot of the teams come in and they hadn't seen a Dome gym because the newer gyms aren't Dome gyms. And so they kind of like the old classic, the old tradition, and we like it too.
Now, I remember when I was in high school, there was that rubber court.
Yeah.
The bright yellow Bulldogs and all that. You had the auditorium side. There's a stage. All that's gone now, though. At least it's at least closed in. But how many people do you think were messed up by shooting in that direction when you're shooting at a stage?
At a stage, yeah. You're used to people performing up there. And now the backdrop's a little different, So it's changed a little bit. One of my kids, my second son, he almost died on that stage because he took a head first into the stage. So we had to get rid of it, and he did a good job. At that point, it was time.
Yeah, it's one of those places that is still unique in Southeast Texas. I mean, all the new schools are great. It's wonderful that you're seeing these new gyms go off, but I kind of associate it with those stadiums they built in the 70s and 80s, the cookie cutters.
Yeah.
It feels like every gym is exactly the same. I miss the Beehive.
Yeah,
I mean, the Beehive back in the day. The Dog Dome is at least there. I miss the old P&G gym, the double-decker gyms.
Yeah, double-decker.
Kuntz, when they used to play in the middle of the school, and you couldn't see any paint on the wall because all their banners. And now it's almost like everybody else has just become too nice. Y'all have got the best of both worlds. You've just updated a great facility, and it still has that character.
Yeah, still got that character, and they come and it gets full at times and you get a little bit louder than usual, maybe a newer gym. But we enjoy it. We don't know what we're going to do with it. We got a new facility coming. So we're trying to decide what we're going to do with it. Our district is anyway.
Right. So you mentioned a new facility, because there are a lot of new facilities going to be built with this bond addition here. What are y'all looking at for a gym over there?
We talked about it one time, so we're in the baby stages. Right. But it's going to be nice. I know they want to try to do it right, so it's in the very beginning stages. And we talked about locker rooms and more equipment rooms and things like that. But the gym itself, we're not sure. We're going to look at East Chambers and some different gyms and try to come up with something really nice.
I will say that East Chambers, in my opinion, has the best gym right now in this area. I mean, it's fantastic. It's got a classic feel to it because it feels like you're in a ginormous barn instead of the small barn that used to be on the other side of campus. But
right.
it definitely is a great atmosphere. And when we come back, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to talk more about your current Nederland Bulldog team. Playing a little shorthanded, but playing some competitive basketball, hanging in there.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about that. Plus, Coach English, what he's done with that Bulldog program. That's going to be coming up next on 409 Sports, X's and O's. Hello and welcome back to 409 Sports X's and O's. I'm here with Nederland head basketball coach Brian English. We are making that transition from football to basketball. You just mentioned it's very relaxing. See, it's a welcoming atmosphere.
Very relaxing.
On X's and O's. We've heard that from a lot of coaches. once you get into the little riff of things, you can talk about whatever you want. It doesn't have to be basketball, but for now, we are going to talk about some basketball. Your Nederland team, you started out the year preseason ranked top 25. You're without one of your top players right now, Hayden Hefner, Texas A&M signee, but you're still off to a good start. You have a couple of losses. You lost to HJ in a very close game out there in a rough place to play in Sour Lake.
Yeah.
Then you had a tough game against Crosby last night. But overall, what do you think the makeup of this team is and what y'all can do?
Well, I like the idea, if Hayden can't be with us right now, our kids getting valuable experience, and there's a bunch of them. Getting a little confident. Last year we couldn't really score as well without him. We're scoring better this year. Our defense is improving, but we got to do a better job taking care of the basketball. Our ball handling is kind of suspect right now, but hopefully with a little experience for some of these kids who hadn't played as much and handled the ball as much, hopefully that'll improve.
The night that at least I was out there at HJ, team was shooting it well from beyond the arc when I was out there. I don't know what happened in the second half, but it came down to the wire. Is that going to be a strength of this team out, this year, that perimeter shooting, outside jump shots, things like that?
Yeah, I think our kids are shooting the ball a lot better. More confident this year. We have 10 kids back from last year's team, and they were just kind of young, inexperienced, but I think we had a couple kids with more confidence this year, shooting the ball really well, a couple of them really well. And hopefully when Hayden comes back, he can give us a little more firepower from behind the line.
And we keep saying when Hayden comes back, people want to know, when's Hayden going to come back?
Everybody wants to know when Hayden's coming back. I get it all the time. We hope next week. I think he's ready. I know he's itching. He's doing a great job for us on the bench right now, encouraging the kids.
I've seen it. I've witnessed it. He is staying in the game when he's out there.
Yes, doing a great job for that. And but he'll be back, hopefully soon, and we'll get him in there and kind of take it easy the first couple of games and kind of get him acclimated. But he's ready to go.
How important is it to not rush a guy, especially this is – you want to win every game. You'll hear a coach, you want to win every game. But this is non-district right now. This is
exactly
pre-district, non-district tournaments, things like that. Wins are great. Rankings are really worthless, to be honest. Yeah. But how important is it to ease them back in?
Yes, especially with this injury. You got a little knee injury, meniscus tear, and they said it was going to take a little time, and it has. But he's moving on it, he's running on it, but still the conditioning won't be there. He's got to get back conditioning-wise, and we're going to take it easy on him for sure. We want this to, him to last the whole year. So,
right. Let's talk a little bit about you, because you're a Bulldog through and through. Played for Nederland, and there were some bad times back, Nederland basketball before. I remember going to watch those P&G Nederland games. Sometimes it was battling just for your second or third district win. It was still packed and loud.
Yeah.
But now, Nederland, y'all have become year in, year out playoff team. You created something special at Vidor when you went over there that just blew people away because nobody thought of Vidor in basketball. You come back to your alma mater, and I remember seeing some of your teams develop. You're going to these regional tournaments. You haven't quite made it to state. You've been knocking on the door before, but people thought there's no way you're going to stay in Nederland that long. Opportunities are going to be opening up to you. What is it about? Is it because you went to Nederland? Is that why you stayed so long?
Well, it's been enjoyable, really enjoyable. I'm glad I went back. Had a couple of things come up, but I just saw some kids coming through, and sometimes the grass isn't always greener. It's a good job over there, and the community's great, and the program's going in the right direction, and we got a new AD in there, and he's really helped us out a bunch. Got some different coaches in there, some new coaches in there, and lost one to Port Neches. Chris Smith went to Port Neches, but it's just been it's a nice program, and kids have bought in and are playing, and when things are going well, and sometimes it's like I told my wife, I mean, there's no guarantees that's going to be good somewhere else, but right now it's good where we are. And sometimes I think people may take that for granted. I don't, because I'm very appreciative, because I've been on the other side of that fence.
Right.
I've been on the other side when you lose, and it's not fun coaching when you continuously lose. But you're going to lose some, and it's a little roller coaster ride, but it's been real good.
Also, did you ever imagine that Nederland would turn into a contender year in, year out? I mean, obviously that's your goal. I mean, anytime you take over a program, you want to make them that. But did you think that Nederland would have the basketball pedigree year in, year after, to be able to be in that top 2, top 3, top 4 of the district.
Yeah. Well, like I tell people, there have been times where we have the number 1, number 2 team in the state of Texas in our district. When Central and Ozan were there. Well, it didn't help us when they put Port Arthur in there with us.
Right.
So it's a very strong district. One year we got 3rd and made it to the regional semis and should have made it to the regional final. But we got 3rd that year. The district's very tough, but yes, I thought we could get it there. And I think we can be really good this year down the line, But, time will tell. But it's been competitive, but kids bought in and kids work, and good things can happen.
Let's talk about it a little further down the line. How about realignment? Because cutoff numbers came out yesterday. You already talked about Port Arthur was added to the district. And hello, Beaumont's going to come back. Beaumont United going to be 5A. And, I mean, you get away from Ozan and Central. They jumped up together, and now they're coming right back to you. Talk about that district race, how it's going to be when you got Port Arthur, United, and Nederland all right there.
Yeah, and then you throw in Barbershall and Port Neches. I mean, Lumberton's coming back, so it's going to be very competitive again, And we didn't lose a whole lot. Barbershall beat us, and they beat Port Arthur last year, so their program's up and coming as well. And it's going to be tough again.
One of those things that when you look at the district as well, very competitive, but there's so many different styles in the district. That's what's funny about it. You got some teams that would love to run and gun you to death, but then you got the straight up fundamentals, pick and roll basketball. Then you got some people that will try to play 4 corners against you if they have to for a whole game. How tough is it to coach where you're having to kind of change things every night in district?
Yeah, it's different. Everybody does have a different style. They have different weapons, Maybe they have kids that can shoot the ball outside. Maybe they have kids they can dump it down to on the block. But you got to be prepared every night, I thought we got beat by some teams that weren't as good as us last year. They shot the ball better. And that 3-point line's made a big difference for a lot of teams, and us as well. So if you're not ready, you could be in for a long night.
Now, we like to talk to all the coaches that come on here. There's obviously people that have inspired you on your way up, and who are some of the guys or even gals that have inspired you on the way up here and kind of led you down the path you are?
Yeah, well, playing wise, a guy named Jamie Weaver. I don't know if you remember him. He was in '83. He went and played with Olajuwon. He came through Nederland 1 year, and I watched him and followed him. And as a player, that's who I watched and wanted to be, like. And coaching-wise, the standard is Duke and Krzyzewski, and that's just even though he got beat by Stephen F. Austin.
Right? Hey, how about
anything can happen? Anything can happen. It's crazy, but that's the standard. He does things right. He's class, and his teams play the right way, and they're all for each other. They all buy in. And great teammates. That's what we're talking to our kids about this year. Be a great teammate. A lot of kids don't quite understand that right now, in this time with the phones. It's more about Twitter than being a great teammate,
I'm on Twitter a lot.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter too. But it's amazing how they can get wrapped up in that stuff, And so I think attention for kids is something we really got to watch out for and talk to them about, because the Twitter and the attention they need. If they don't get it, they're going to go find it. And so what I'm trying to talk to the kids about, being a good teammate and being for each other, and not just about yourself and attention that you might get on Twitter. And I think it's really helped this group this year. We've talked about it just about every day, and we're going to continue to do that.
Also, Coach K is known to get quite animated on the sideline. I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. You're probably one of the most animated coaches on the sideline in Southeast Texas as well. Do you think that you go over the line sometimes, or do you think some of the officials just kind of enjoy being yelled at constantly during the game?
Well, I mean, as I've gotten older, I've calmed down a little bit. I tell my wife this all the time. I'm trying to be better as you get older.
Right.
You're like, what am I doing? So it's getting better, I think. And I hadn't gotten a technical foul in a while.
It's good.
I do still get mad at the kids, and I still get mad at myself for doing certain things. But as you age, you've hopefully gained wisdom, and hopefully on the sideline, hopefully I'm better than I used to be.
What is the progression of you? Because I love watching mannerisms of coaches on sidelines. There's the squat. There's the Coach English squat, and then you see the hands start moving, and then the whistle. The whistle.
Yeah.
You always have that whistle. Did this just develop naturally? I mean, how did it all come together?
My grandpa whistled, my dad whistled, and so I just guess I whistle. I get their attention that, sometimes I don't have a voice, so I whistle and they kind of respond, so I just continue to do it. Just a habit, I guess.
And I also noticed when you're at home in the dome, there's not really a lot of people sitting behind you, so they can't hear what you're saying in that huddle either. Overall, though, he really has a clean mouth. I will say it.
Thank you.
I will say it.
It's getting better.
He's loud, and it has gotten much better over the years. What do you think this program can be? I mean, it's already built into a playoff contender year in and year out. We're not looking for you to leave the next couple of years. You got plenty of years left in you. What can Nederland be in the long run?
Well, getting to that regional tournament is a real nice experience, but getting to that next level is something that every coach aspires to do, and that's what we're trying to do. And you just keep on going to work.
Yeah.
And you keep on hoping, and you keep trying to do things right, and hopefully with a little luck, one day you get there,
Because Nederland has gone to state in basketball. It's just been a long time. It was the 50s, correct?
40s.
40s.
Yes.
Even longer than that. What would it mean to that city, which is football crazy? I mean, we're in Texas, to go to state in basketball. Because if you have not had a chance to go to state, or if you've been a fan of a school that does not go to state in basketball, just go there to watch it. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
I do miss it being in Austin compared to when it's in San Antonio
I do too.
now.
Yeah.
But what do you think it would mean to that community?
Well, the community does a great job following, all their sports, and then especially if that particular sport's winning, they'll really get involved. And we've seen that, year in, year out. And we've also seen if you don't do well, they don't quite come as much. And that's okay too. I mean, really, as a fan, I probably wouldn't either.
Right.
So, and that's just part of it. But they do a great job of supporting, and that's why the mid-county schools, and along with some of these other schools as well, the communities anyway, they do a great job of supporting their teams, and it's a lot of fun for the kids.
And last thing, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot right now, because mentioned state basketball is one of my favorite things to go to. As I said, I miss it in Austin. We understand why. Okay, South by Southwest goes on during Austin at that same time.
It's hurting them.
They want to have the girls and the boys in the same locations. If you could have it anywhere you want besides Austin, because, I mean, obviously we love it there, where would you hold the state tournament at?
I enjoy San Antonio, but I don't know about that big facility.
I was thinking if it was San Antonio, if the Spurs Arena, if somehow you could play it at AT&T.
That'd be great.
I think it'd be much better.
Yes, I agree. I think the Alamo Dome is just a little too big.
Right.
So if they could do that in San Antonio, especially San Antonio, they got
San
a lot to
Antonio's
offer.
great.
Great city. But if they could do it in the Spurs Arena, it'd be great.
All right. I like that. Well, Coach, thanks for coming on. I'll be seeing you this
Thanks for having
week.
me.
I'll be eating your food.
Yes,
I
come on.
appreciate it. And we'll be out there. We're going to have highlights this week of the Bulldog YMBL Classic. I will be having it on Thursday and Friday. Mike Canizales will be out there championship Saturday. So
Right.
looking forward to it.
Sounds good.
So until next time, we'll see you on 409 Sports, X's and O's.